Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. Today we're going to look at the Roland AV1HD and 4HD AV streaming mixers. Alright, so I thought a great place for us to do the tutorial today would be at my buddy's place. This is Bill Davern.
How are we doing out there?
And Bill is a film aficionado.
Aficionado.
He's a film nerd.
Film nerd, yes. I collect movie posters and movie memorabilia and all kinds of nerd things. Matter of fact, my friends call this place Nerdvana.
If there's a classic film and you ask him about it, he'll know the director, the writer, and who wrote the score and lots of great things. So you're also a stand-up comic.
Yes, I've been touring as a stand-up comic for probably about 25 years, but I'm in Canadian comedy, and that's why you've never heard of me.
But I thought that it would be great to introduce Bill to the streaming mixer and give him the idea. It's almost like a modern radio show where you're a one-man show and you get to have control over your whole domain.
Mm. And these are really handy because, particularly for comedians, because the audiences at comedy clubs are dwindling and very few. So the biggest audience you're going to find, of course, is on YouTube. So we're going to give this a shot. So Colin's going to give you an example. He's going to walk you through all this. I'm a total novice to this, but I'm really excited about the potential for this amazing studio in one, you know, that I'll be able to do by myself. And believe me, I do a lot of things by myself. Anyway.
All right, thanks, Bill. So I'll take you through all the different tools in the VR1HD. At the end, I'll show you the 4HD, and that is a 4-in streaming server that I actually used to stream a live gala broadcast in Toronto. And I'd never done that before in my life.
Amazing. Yeah.
And we had 3 cameras and one person doing all the slides.
So instead of having a big truck like you see for all these news events and all that, you know, when they used to bring out with a big crew, you're talking about basically just doing it solo. Flying
by the seat of your pants. And I think there's some kind of energy. When you talk about the energy standing in front of a live audience, it's incredible. It's the same thing here. You're streaming live, you're in the hot seat, baby.
That's right, and it's one take.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's true. I mean, like you just gotta, like there is that energy that just kind of makes you just boom. And, you know, that's the difference, of course, between live performances and, you know, rehearsed and scripted performances. So we'll find out what's going to happen. So I'll see you a little bit later after Colin gives you the whole run through on this amazing thing.
All right. All right. So it's a compact mixer with 3 HDMI inputs that you can bring in 3 HDMI cameras. You could bring in a game. You could bring in a phone even. Any of these can be your source. And you can have the audio coming through the HDMI or muted through the HDMI. And there's also 2 microphone setups. This is the main mic 1, which is on the top because you could use a gooseneck. So it's right there in front of you and you don't have any wires hanging around. And there's also another microphone on the side. And this is useful because you can mix all of those signals here. So Bill is going to be on mic 1, I'm on mic 2, and line is a laptop that I have over on the side here. And we're going to be, Bill will be streaming some stuff from the laptop into input number 3. And we'll see what that looks like. And there's the switching part is really great. Over on the right, 3 big buttons for input 1, input 2, and input 3 over here, which is a laptop that's also HDMI in. Above that are scenes, and you can completely customize it. This is one thing that I absolutely love about all of Roland's 1HD, the 4HD, which I'll show you later, is the amount of customization in these is incredible. Not just smart things like levels and color, but delay and also all of these different scenes. So you've seen our inputs. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So if we go to scene 1, it's a pip in the corner. And if I change to scene 3 here and then go back over to there, you'll see there's my pip, and I could have changed that to something else. And here is scene B that is showing input 3 down in the corner. There's a split screen between the 2, and there's a split horizontally And the last one I have set up for Bill so that he can show, and this would be great for gamers. So you're down here, this is camera 2 that we've got going down here in the corner, and then the display from the laptop, which could be your game. One great thing about the game setup is that there's a direct through in the VR1 HD. That's important because there's no latency. Frame speed is absolutely important to gamers. They don't want anything that's going to slow down the frames. So you input from your gameplay into number 3, and then there's a through that takes you out to a separate monitor. So you could just stick any other HD monitor, you're watching that, and like I said, there's no delay at all, there's no latency. It just, while you're playing the game, your through is as if you're connecting that monitor directly to your system. Now, we also have some interesting effects, and I'll let Bill mess around with these, but got reverb, and you can change how much reverb that is. There's also a voice changer. Oh, but that only works on Bill's. So when Bill starts talking, you'll hear the voice changer, so we can make that very high or very low. And then there's 2 other buttons in here where you can load in sound. So you could load in background music and tell it to loop. So if you want a little background loop playing, you can introduce that. You can also set whether it fades in or fades out, how long it is that it fades out, whether it latches or not. So when you tap once, it will latch the whole time, and when you tap again, it will go out. So you've got so much control as if you're telling your band, you know, off the side when to play and when to shut up. All right, so back over to the mixer side. As I mentioned, there's mixing for 1, 2, mic 1, mic 2, and line. There's also interesting quick level setup. So if you click in here, you'll see I can jump right into the level setups. And everything is controlled by this push button. There's also a menu button here. So if you turn this, you'll go to that specific setting, push it in, and then you can see I can quickly change that level there. So if you want more control, you go to our menu setting, and there are 2 menus. So the audio input, you can see for each microphone, and you've got overall gain, digital gain, the overall level, which is showing you what your fader is at, whether you want to mute it, solo it, how much you're sending to the reverb. You can also send to auxiliary. There's a delay. Delay is great when you're streaming because audio is usually earlier than video, and to compensate for that, you would set this at about 250 milliseconds is usually a good setting so that the voice and video match. To get back out, you just keep hitting the menu button to back out. So there's all of the inputs, like I said, the inputs from HDMI 1, 2, and 3, and the USB from the PC too, which we should mute. Okay, back out. You also have audio out settings, so you can set what the stream is and what the bus is. And then you've also got great audio follows video settings. There's also automatic mixing too, and echo canceller, and there's our audio effects. So right now we've got the voice changer, and I've got that on -12 pitch and -6 formant, and it's going to sound more like a monster. Then there's a couple of audio files. There's a clap file and an audience laughing. The only thing you have to do is you have to make sure that they're WAV files. They're 24-bit, 16K, and they're named 8.3, meaning no more than 8 letters at the beginning, a dot, and then a wave, and they have to be a WAV file. And there, like, you can fade in. You can even change the button colors, and I've changed that one to cyan. you can, once you've done all this and saved all your settings, you can take everything and then save that to USB. So later on, you can load that back in. If you've gone to great lengths to customize all of this, it's a great way to recall all of that. Now let's go back to the other and go to auto switching. So it's an auto scan, beat sync, or video follows audio. And I'll show you video follows audio in a bit. But the idea with video follows audio is you can have the picture change with whoever's speaking. So if we had 3 camera inputs and each person was speaking in the microphone, it would automatically switch to each one of those. So if you think of this, it's like 3 camera operators and audio operators all in one automatically. And I'll show you that in a sec. The beat sync is amazing because, in case you don't know, Roland is also a music company making synthesizers since the dawn of time. So they know good quality sound and good quality music. So this beat sync will actually listen to the music and it will start syncing to the beat and it will jump to each one of those cameras. And then the last one is just an auto scan and it can change based on who is talking and switch to that. All right. I'm also capturing one thing that you don't normally do is you're seeing all of the menus being captured here, and normally you would only see that on a secondary monitor output. But I'm running that monitor output into another interface, and I'm controlling that over there. So it's a little bit different of a solution, but it's the only way that I could show you what these menus look like to capture them. The last thing to understand about any streaming mixer is that they run USB 3 because they require lots of data. So a USB 3 out into a computer, and then that computer would be running any kind of streaming solution. OBS is probably one of the most popular ones, and it supports Twitch, it supports Facebook, YouTube, and well, any streaming service out there, and it's a free solution, runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and you just, I'm running it over here and I'm actually recording and not streaming that signal in there. So that's all the pieces of the streaming mixer, all of the controls, and it's just incredibly easy for a one-man show. So if you're the kind of person that would love to have the production quality look like you have a whole bunch of camera operators and audio mixers working for you, and yet you're sitting there as one lone person, it's going to make you look and sound great. All right, let's get Bill back in here and we'll get him behind the controls. All right, this one's for David Roland. He wanted to see us use the auto switching with the switching follows the microphone.
All right. Let's just see how this works.
Let's give this a try. I'm going to turn this on, and I'll keep talking. You shut up right now. Okay, so now I'm talking, and this is me. I get to hog the camera until...
Hey, wait a minute. It's supposed to be my turn, and we're not... Oh, there I am. There. So what's really interesting here is that this is activated through voice, like through sound, right?
And when we both start fight for the camera, and we start talking, then we get a two-shot.
Yeah.
But they get a two-shot.
Yeah, so the machine, the Roland, is actually editing these shots that you're seeing here. We're not touching anything.
No touchy. No touchy.
Well,
no touchy.
And let's keep it that way. For God's sakes, we're going to keep it that way, all right?
Keep it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to amuse you.
Yeah, he does a very good Joe
I'm here to
Pesci.
amuse you.
That's not amuse me. Try it one more time, all right? One more time. We're going to try that.
Well, I'm here to amuse you.
Yeah, see, very good, Yeah. I always thought Burt Lancaster should be in that movie, What do you think? I'm here to amuse you. I'm some kind of a clown. That's one is definitely for the older people there. Younger people are looking at me, what the hell is he talking about?
Oh, Burt Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster. They don't know Burt Lancaster.
Birdman of Alcatraz.
Very good. Very good, Colin.
When I was a kid growing up, that was playing at 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 after the news. The family would go to bed.
Channel 13 would play it almost on a loop, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm telling you, Warden, I want my birds. You understand that? I want my birds.
Now, I have this. This is a little bit frantic.
Frantic?
Right now.
Frantic, okay. We're going to play around.
because I have this set on 1 second, so it's a 1 second delay, so it jumps pretty quick.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson here. Now that's kind of, older Jack right here. You know what I mean? Of course, he was the original Joker, Okay, you can talk.
Oh, how about Jim Mignatowski from Taxi?
That is excellent.
Hey, I didn't know you liked Stevie Wonder.
That's fantastic.
That was a great episode.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, what about Pacino? Alfonso Pacino. Hey, what do you think? I would love this particular machine. I would just do my own shows. To hell with the rest of Hollywood. You know what I mean?
So what if we did Pacino and Jim Mignatowski at the same time?
This sounds like a good idea.
You want to
some kind of maybe a remake of Titanic? I will play the Kate Winslet part. You know what I mean?
You want to see my little friend?
Now that's a scene in Titanic I did not want to see. I do not want to see his little friend. As a matter of fact, I don't want to see any part of him.
Okay. I'm going to turn off auto switching here. We're back to the two up.
Okay.
We're having some fun here, but I think it's now we're back over on
we're on this camera.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at the wrong camera.
No, you were on, that was your camera.
That was my camera. That was our camera.
So we now have 3 cameras set up. So we took out the computer on input 3 and we've got the 3 cameras set up, and that's what
absolutely true, folks. That's three cameras. Outstanding. That's a little. Matter of fact, I'm going to do my own version of the Johnny Carson Show. I'm going to call it the Tommy Carson Show, and it may show up on YouTube sometime if I can get one of these machines.
That would be amazing. All right.
Okay. What?
Thanks.
Thank you. And thanks, you guys, for watching and tolerating my, trip through this amazing little machine. I love it.
What are you on, something?
I just kind of had one of those moments,
Wait a minute.
Okay.
That's the voice.
Are we getting reverb?
Yeah.
Well, we are getting reverb.
I'm getting this. This is
Voice
kind of...
change.
Okay. I can't hear it because I don't have my microphone on. And, okay, well... Okay, I'm Bill, and I'm going to try the Roland here and do my own little mini podcast just as an example. So this is a novice trip for me, Lo. If I make any mistakes, just go along with me. Okay, so I'm going to do something for the film aficionados out there, and I'm going to do something that is considered somewhat sacrilegious. I'm going to question the true genius of the great Stanley Kubrick. Yes, the great Stanley, who is beyond reproach. Now, when I was growing up, and I went to film school and all that jazz, I was a huge Kubrick fan, and I watched, 2001, for example, and I thought, what a genius he was to come up with the Blue Danube, and the kind of genius that only can be attributed to Stanley Kubrick. But did he just come up with it by himself? I don't know. I was finding on YouTube one time, and I find this a very interesting documentary, and it was all about the making of 2001. And here's members of his crew talking about how the music really kind of came along, And
it was understandable that Colin would kind of nod off. But it was a little bit embarrassing. And the projection, on the way out, the projectionist pulled me over and he said, listen,
listen to this.
In the box, I've got some old sort of music for pleasure records.
So they're watching just the rushes of the movie.
Some of these on it might help keep everyone awake.
Right.
So I asked Stanley and he said, yeah, it was fine by him. And
projectionist.
A couple of days later, we're watching the space station shot and it just happened to be the Blue Danube. And when the lights came up at the end, I remember Stanley turning around to us and said, do you think, would it be a stroke of genius to use that?
Close to the time.
See? Stroke of genius. Taking the advice from a projectionist. So I don't know. That's just a very kind of little interesting story that I had, about Stanley Kubrick. Okay, all right. Yeah, all right, okay.
Believe me, that's the biggest laugh I've had in the last 3 years in comedy. Well, go ahead.
All right, so now I'm going to insert the VR 4HD, which I recorded previously, just so you can understand how the controls are a little bit different. All right, now I did want to mention that Roland has a number of other streaming mixers. I wanted to show you the big brother of the VR 1 HD, and that's the 4 HD. This is more of a professional live streaming. I've used this on a live event. It's beautifully laid out. It's just the right size. And you can see even right on the device itself, I have a 4-up display that I can switch to on each one of those devices. And I'm running 4 inputs right now. Right now we're looking at the 4 inputs. If I go to output, now I'm going to the specific outputs and I can switch to each one of those that way. And obviously you can run this the same as the 1 HD. You can run an HD monitor out and view that. What I love about this is it gives you all of the functionality you need, because when you're live streaming, if something goes wrong, you want to get to it pretty quick. So there's a built-in mixer. There are 8 inputs here. Each of the cameras can have inputs, so you have a choice of bringing in these are the 4 inputs that are on the side here. So there's 4 combo jacks that could accept 1/4 inch or XLR. Each one of those has a separate gain control, and each one of those has a setup. And I'll go through the setup in a second. But they've got great faders in here right away. And then you can get your signals from the PC, and they can have faders on those too. So as you see, we're getting signals in from from one of the HDMI inputs. Then we've got an overall main level, reverb, and then headphones. And you can see setups are everywhere. So instead of being buried in a deep menu, if I want to get to the main setup, push this button and I've got the main setup or the setup for each one of these channels. The HDMI setup of the inputs, and you can switch between each one of the inputs here. The system setup, you can set up things like transitions and you can leave it automatically set, or you can have it, you can specifically manually set the inputs. The HDMI inputs here, as I showed, but and when you're going out of the 4HD, just like the 1 HD, we've got to go out to USB 3. And in the USB setups, in the second page here, this delay is really important. This is a 250 millisecond delay to compensate for the fact that the audio coming in here is faster than the video. So if you leave that set up, it's a sticky setting every time you turn it on, which means that it's going to sync better on the final output. You can also set transitions. So right now this is set just to straight cuts. So if we go to here, it's going to go to cuts. We can mix this, and you can see there's a slight fade in, and you can set the time of that fade here. And then there's a bunch of wipes that you can use, and you can set what those wipes are. There's split screens in here. There really is a lot of professional functionality, as I mentioned, that I used this on a live streaming event, and it performed flawlessly. It was absolutely amazing. I had 3 cameras in, and I had a computer with the slideshow in it. So let me just show you on the side. These are the 4 inputs, so 4 combo jacks, so they'll accept XLR or 1/4 inch. And there's also phantom power in here to power professional level microphones. Lots and lots of inputs on here. It's just amazing. There's our 4 camera inputs. There's the program out, another HDMI out, and of course that was the USB 3. So if I was streaming, I would be using that. XLR, there's audio in, there and a 1/4-inch jack, so you could put something like a music player in here. Auxiliary out. There's the audio out to XLR balanced and to RCA unbalanced. It really is a full-featured, amazing system.
This thing is absolutely amazing. I mean, all this time, I've been doing it like, you know, like the hard way, you know, like, you know, going in front of real people, and now I gotta, see, I don't even have to tell a joke. It's an amazing, amazing piece of technology. I love this thing.
So, I mean, it's exciting. Like I said, it's that same kind of energy in a different way. You're flying by the seat of your pants.
Right.
You think of this live streaming,
right,
which means you can react more. I mean, that's the thing that you don't get with post-production. It's a video, you hit play, the only thing you can do is sit and watch.
And you know, one of the big benefits is literally, and it's kind of weird to say this, but you're by yourself. Now, when you go into a studio, you have other people. And if you're anything like me, you get easily embarrassed. I know it's ironic for stand-up comics, but it's true. We're really super sensitive about this. And this, you're just by yourself, you know what I mean? And you can just kind of let your stream of consciousness go. And you literally have your own studio here. And love it, love it.
Excellent. So thanks a lot for Roland, Dave over at Roland, who loaned us the VR1 HD. And the other thing that I want to mention, which I missed, is that these inputs love anything you put into it. Any camera that I was plugging into it would just work, including old camcorders. I just slapped into it, boom. It compensates for anything, any just crappy signal that you happen to have when you're throwing in 720 or 1080, and it just loves it. And of course, Roland does have very big high-end 4K switchers where you can actually push in to an HD. So if your output is HD, you can have a 4K camera, one camera, and you can push in and you can be switching between those. So that's not the 1 HD, that's some of the other stuff. So thanks again, Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking this for a spin. I appreciate it.
This thing is amazing, especially if you're a crazy egomaniac like myself and you just want to throw your opinions out there. And this is the world of the YouTube. This is the future of the YouTube. Amazing product.
All right, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. You want to support us some more? You can do that through PayPal. There's a link in the description and one on the front of the channel. Until next time, I'm Colin Smith. Get ready to claps and laughs. And I'm here to keep you in stitches.
Oh. All this time I've been doing it the hard way. Welcome to Nerdvana. Authentic vintage pinball machines. 1980 Galaxy by Stern. And I made a movie of. There's some newspaper clips there and all that stuff way back in the day when I had hopes and dreams and all that other jazz. That's me and Norman Jewison. Yeah, they made In the Heat of the Night and Fiddler on the Roof and Justice for All and all the other. And there's Marilyn and the King. I'm just thinking of the King. Of course, man's got to stay. He's got to stay vinyl, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have to always stay vinyl. That's pure. And these are the newspaper, all the newspaper articles that were done during my comedy years. And, that's right. Oh, that's me with the cast of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There I am there. There's Gunnar Hansen, Marilyn, Terry McMahon, and of course, having a few beers with Oliver Stone. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah. Anyway, so here's the authentic Galaxy Stern pinball machine featured in the movie. It's on YouTube, by the way. Just type in Galaxy Build Ever. This is Road Kings. Road Kings I just acquired. This is a Williams game, and it's very, very cool. And it's got extra ramps on it and all that jazz. And I won't turn all this stuff on because you won't be able to hear me if I do. Here's Gorgar. Gorgar was the very first speaky pinball machine.
No way.
Yeah, he really was. Yep. He's 1979. So we got 79, 80, and 86. I know these machines are old. Now, when I was a kid, like a lot of kids my generation, I was into the old Aurora models. And there's the original Aurora model kits from 1963. And yep, they're all still intact, blah, blah, blah. And that is considered the holy grail of nerd toys. That's the Great Garloo. He was a Marx toy from 1961. And my mother bought him at $29. I got all these lights here. These very cool lights. You know, this stuff on Kijiji, you know, like you don't spend a lot of money, but super cool stuff. And then you got all these Steven Spielberg's first real big major movie, Duel. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Here's more of these Consini stuff, but it's kind of hard to get the ones with the LED lights, but I got them all. And I know it's pathetic for a man at 61 to still have toys, but hey, I keep my toys. They're a shrine to my past. There you go. We got the Alien and the Predator and Jaws and all that stuff. And those are the original Dinky toys from the Thunderbirds. Remember the puppets? Gary Anderson did those shows. Did you know, Colin, I bet you did not know, that Derek Meddings worked on those originally and later became the special effects guy on Blade Runner.
What?
So, yes, that's true. Oh, Night of the Living Dead. Met these guys at a nerd convention. Russ Striner, you know, the Coming to Get You, Barbara, and John Russo. And they are there. And of course, Dustin Hoffman, John Voigtman at Cowboy. We got the Planet of the Apes autographed when they revived the movie again. And well, we'll keep Marilyn's ass out of this, I guess. And oh, this is very cool too. You got over here. Very difficult to find this. Cal Welch is a special photographer. I can't remember his name right now, but he did this amazingly cool shot. Again, just something you find on Kijiji, and very cool. And Lawrence of Arabia, there's another Dirty Harry. There's one of the machines he's trying to talk to us. And then you got this room here. Holy cow, does it never end? Okay, you got Maryland, and you got these life-size celebrity things. Not to. So it proves I'm not crazy. I just put them up so I have someone to talk to. And again, original. Yeah, those are all the original half sheets. Very cool posters that are very difficult to get because theater marquees no longer have this size anymore. But you know, original Deliverance, original Great Escape. Oh, there it is, The Birdman of Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie, yeah? And there it is, yeah. That's Saul Bass did the artwork.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who also did Psycho and all that jazz. And anyway, that's it. The American Graffiti cards are all up there with the DVD autograph by Cindy Williams. She played, I think, Lori and I don't know.
Oh.
Shannon was doing, yeah, you saw American Graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Awesome.
So anyway, that's it. That's my nerd venom.
Thanks for letting us into your haven there, Bill.
Yes. Come on, Patty. We got Paul's Paradise out here.
Oh, I'm playing with one hand here.
Not bad. Watch it play. Yeah. I'll give you 2 games on it, all right? So, good.